What up? What up? What up? This is RJ Fantasy Football talking. You know what time it is.
What's
All
up?
right, we back. This is Ryan. This is Jay. What's going on, man?
Hey, things are going great. Unlike last week where games. This week I'm in that loss. I only won three games last. Won
Mm-hmm.
five this week. So I'm on my way back to being good at fantasy football again.
Okay.
We'll
All
see how
right,
it
man.
goes. How'd your week go?
I went 3-3. I broke even. I'm good. I did good this
Okay.
week. I'm not complaining. I broke even. I didn't have a bad
Yeah.
week. I could have
That's
did
better
better.
than last week though.
Yeah, yeah.
You know
So
what
hopefully the week. Now I get all my players back. I get my main guys back. I had a couple guys weak. Had a couple guys hurt. So a lot of my guys are coming back this week. So I feel comfortable. I feel confident this week that I should get some wins. I should win more games this week than I did last week. So I'm good with that. I think I'm good. How about you? You other than I know you did well this week. I mean, but
I did all
other than
right.
that, how your week going?
Oh, it's been great, work, and fantasy football. so,
Same
so,
here.
but hey, did something different. I know I got the nine fantasy footballs,
Hmm.
but now with all the craziness, this is a good time. I saw. Okay, I was struggling again, and for some reason I couldn't read the comment back now. Someone had mentioned something about. But yeah, it's a whole lot of great sports going on right now. But in addition to our nine fantasy, your producer, and have our fantasy hockey teams.
Oh gosh,
A hockey
please.
guy. We live in near DC, so we try to get to the capitals a little bit. So but I actually try to root for the Las Vegas. I'm all in on Las Vegas. The Raiders. I'm into the Golden Knights.
You
I'm
may as
into
well. The
the
other
Lady
Vegas
Ace.
teams are doing good.
Yeah, Aces. By the way, I'm missing Aces play tonight because we're doing this show. So up to the Aces. Hopefully they're doing their thing. They got to. They get that New York Liberty team is really good, but I have a team, a fantasy hockey team that is we're actually playing each other, Sydney and I, week one. So we'll see. I will be back. So it's my first time playing hockey. Fantasy. I've done baseball. I've done football. So have some advice. Feel free to throw it at
Please,
me.
please,
Please.
please.
It's very
Anything
different.
you
Very
think you
different.
got.
I'm on uncharted territory. We're gonna try to figure this drug out.
You
Uh,
know what? That's funny. You said something about the Capitals because I
yeah.
seen your dad last weekend on Saturday,
Okay.
and they had on the Capitals hat.
Oh,
Now
okay.
I brought the hat from like Marshalls or something, and it was on sale. And he was like, "Where you get that hat from?" I was like, "Marshalls. It was cheap." He was like, "What you know about that?" I was like, "Nothing." I said, "Match something I wanted to put on." So I was like, now that you say that, it makes sense now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for being a part of the show. Hey, we love to let us know in the comments how your fantasy folks went. I don't think our producer told us how her week went. I know.
No, no one asked me.
No. Well, hey, you got a mic just like us.
Yeah, I know, but I like to be asked
Uh,
sometimes.
so
I
how
don't. I
did
just
fantasy
want to,
week go?
huh?
How'd it go? You got the
It,
floor.
it's my usual week in three every week.
One and three.
It just depends on when win is. It shifts from week to week.
Yeah.
Now it's just one win and I lose the other three.
Yeah, but hey, if you got one man, you can just hold on to that one and pretend other leagues don't matter. That's what I'm gonna do. But
I
yo,
guess.
welcome everybody. Welcome to the show. I don't know why you keep wanting to talk baseball. Hey, it's all good. The Red Sox and the Yankees, they're at the barbecue. While the Astros
Woo,
do
woo,
they
go
so. Let's see if
Houston!
they can keep this going. One Orlando Lewis. I see Anita. So I got Anita. Just so you know, because we play in the hey, if you're in the Atlanta, go to Uptown Comedy Club. Great place to get your laugh on. But they have a league that I'm in. and she had the gall, the audacity, if you will, to shout of us out, saying and outscore all of y'all this week. So she duly noted, Nita, your team beasted last week. She had Justin Fields, so you can imagine she put on pretty good points last. But hey, I keep receipts. I'm gonna leave receipts. Welcome, Will. Head of the show. What's up? Good to have you with Carla.
Will
is there? Catherine Bracy. Did I leave out anybody? Everybody that's if you're watching, thanks for joining us again for another week. We trying to do our thing. Justin said he big league, so that's what's good. What's good. And yeah, Nita's again smack even there in the comments. So it's all good. Hey, she shit, but I think we also have played each other in that league. Go ahead and put comments how that game went for you. That's up. We ready for news?
Yeah. Let's talk injuries.
That is the only news, ain't it?
Oh my gosh. We got Justin Jefferson out 4 weeks.
Hurt my heart.
We got a chain out with a knee injury. We got Arizona running back. Tell me what his name. Having a brain fart.
James Conner on injury.
James Conner's out with a knee injury. Deshaun Watson still out, maybe this week. But this is my question. Injuries, right? We've been watching football very long time. Very, very long time. Now, is it because they don't want to? Okay, say you get a high ankle sprain. Back in the day, you would wrap it up, put ice on it. Mm-hmm. You'd be back the next week. You're good to go. I want to know why these guys, it takes 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks for a high ankle sprain. Is it the money they're making, or are they soft? I mean, I'm trying to figure out what is it that makes them stay out so long.
I know, but so say, and Carlos said half her team's injured. I know Phil. I had a whole roster on injured reserve. They're just starting to get right. Yes. Shout out to the Tidewater Tides. I said Tides won the AAA championship. Yes. So yeah, go
yes,
Tides.
They did.
But I don't know. It just seems that there's so many injuries in the news because Travis Kelce is injured second time. We'll see what plays tomorrow. There's a lot of people saying it's the field, and they've got to do something about the NFL fields. Stop playing on turf, play on grass. Daniel Jones has a head injury. He also can't play football injury.
He got a neck injury.
Yeah.
Well, I said Kelce. Kelce has not missed one game since he got hurt. And Kelce's playing this week. So Kelce had, I don't know if it was a high ankle sprain.
Yeah, ankle sprain.
So Kelce had a high ankle sprain. Kelce hasn't missed one game. Not one. Now, all of a sudden, Jefferson walked off the field. No problem.
Yeah.
I mean, he limped a little bit, but you're telling me you're going to miss 4 games? Is that... But I heard, Schaffner came out. They said, why would he play if he didn't get it? Because he's trying to get a contract. So why would he come out here and get hurt even worse, without a contract? I think these guys are soft, man, honestly. Yeah. And I think they plan more for a contract if they get hurt too much. It's like Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor was never hurt. Jonathan Taylor wanted his money.
And he got it.
I've been saying that the whole season. He got his money, now all of a sudden he's playing. So I think a lot of that has to do with money and contracts and things of that nature. And if it's in their contract, if they feel like they don't want to play, or their money ain't right, or they got a potential to lose money because of injury, I don't understand it. It's mind-boggling to me. Now, what you're gonna do is Justin Jefferson is gonna affect a bunch of people in the next 4 weeks. Mm-hmm. They drafted him high.
Me. I got Justin Jefferson in 2 leagues. Both of them obviously went high for him because you needed to this year.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Mama said that she's going with you. That me and Joe Green probably laughing at all this. It's different. We said that not just about football, basketball, and a lot of us in general. It's not that old. Keep taping me up, hit me with a shot. I'm gonna just keep playing. Like people are more. In fact, it was in NBA. Who was it? Was it Paul George? Somebody in that whole group. Just talking about they're not trying to miss games, but that they've become. I think it was Paul George. Because talking about they've become sort of the post out of what did they call it? Health when that but basically sitting games because you don't want to, because you need to rest your body or whatever. I forget what term is, but it's completely a different game that these guys are.
I just think, to me, I think that's pretty whack, because it's like, okay, if you go, it's so many home games that a team plays. So you play 8 home games, 9, I guess 8 or 9 now,
right?
Because the schedule changed, right? So say you spend, because the thing you got to think about the regular American person that's making regular money, and that person spends $200-300 to go to a game, not because you got a high ankle sprain. Make it make sense, because these people are spending money to go to games, and you say, now it's worse than basketball though, because they're just not playing.
Yeah.
Period. I mean, to me, it don't make sense. But I think it's a little soft, and to me, I think they got to do better. Like, I don't know if it's the trainers, I don't know if it's the field, I don't know if it's the contract. There's something wrong to where these guys get hurt and they sitting out multiple weeks. Now, It's like Eckler. Now, do you think Eckler was really hurt like that to where he could just sit out? Eckler practiced all last week.
Yeah.
The week before they went on the bye, he practiced all that week and then didn't play. What's the excuse for that?
Hey, he hasn't played since week 1. So I mean, it's. I say this though, for running backs, I'm not even mad at it.
I mean, either.
Because if they're not me, I'm not gonna watch. CJ said you don't work, you don't get no money, no work. That's the American. It's thing, but I don't know what to make of it other than for your fantasy purposes, you better have depth if you've never drafted for depth before, because you just don't who you're gonna. I actually took advantage of. We talked about all these injuries. One of the big injuries that we haven't mentioned yet, Richardson. Who just got injured reserve, and your boy had Gardner Minshew, and he turned to some work for our dying. So, hey, and take advantage injuries if that's open. So,
yeah, I mean, I agree with you. You did take advantage of it, but Richardson hasn't finished the whole game but once this year. To be honest,
just that one.
He finished one game this year, and I was like, man, is he ever gonna go through a season? Because now he's getting a reputation of getting hurt.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's gonna be the reputation of him. He's always gonna get hurt. So I think it's crazy, but which was a good move by you to keep Gardner Minshew. Some people would have dropped him once they figured out Richardson was starting. So. But that was a good move, though. I ain't mad at that. Not one.
Yeah. Smart. Other NFL news, starting with last week, of course, lost a great one. Dick Butkus passed away. Right, not long before last Thursday's game. So the Bears did him right. I say much.
Yeah,
and they completely dominated that game, much like Butkus would have wanted them to have done. Did you play anyone with Justin Fields or DJ Moore? Did you have them? I know Justin Fields anywhere.
I don't have Justin Fields, and I didn't play anybody with DJ Moore. So I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, because the way they worked that day, it was crazy. So. I avoided that one because I would have lost. So
yeah, let's see.
I avoided that one definitely. So I'm good with that. But they did. I mean, they did them right. They went out, they won, and they talked about it after the game,
Yeah.
which they wanted to go out and win for his family and stuff like that. So I can appreciate it. Maybe they can get on a winning streak after this. I mean, they can keep winning games. They can be the juice to keep winning. So who knows? But
We'll see.
we'll see. So definitely.
The news.
No, I mean, I got other than that, other than injuries, no.
Yeah, that's the biggest part. I'll get into those. Do you want to injuries now, or do you want to talk? Do you want to talk player stats a week?
I mean, we could talk. We could talk some of this.
What's your biggest one? And let us know also in the comments. What are you doing to handle who have you picked up?
I think
for your
so.
injuries.
So for me, the biggest one is Jefferson. But if you can get, which I probably you can't at this point, if you can get Addison, I think Addison's probably the biggest pickup. He should be the biggest pickup on why, but if he's probably not available, to be honest with you, because a lot of people went Addison in the draft, like me. I got Addison in the field.
Yeah, you're not gonna. KJ Osborne is probably more likely to be your guy, and he's gonna be the one that's filling in Justin Jefferson role as the X receiver. So
if you watch the game when Jefferson went out last week, Addison was the one they were really throwing to.
Oh yeah, they're gonna throw to him. I'm just saying the role, the receiver role Justin has is gonna be because Addison is his regular role. But who's going to get the ball on with? It's going to be more Addison than anyone.
I think the two people that benefit from this injury is Madison and Addison are the two that benefits the most from this because they're going to have to run the ball more now than anything because Jefferson's not there. Addison's a bunch of throws his way. He's not the biggest guy, and that's probably why he don't play as much as he should. He's really small, by the way. So I think of the day, he's going to be in that slot probably a lot more. He's going to play a lot though, and I'm glad I got him because he's definitely going to get that work. So
I would say also T.J. Hawkinson's going to become. I mean, he was already doing a big part of that offense, but I think you can. I would probably say I expect to see more from Hawkinson than I would to see from KJ Osborne.
Yeah, I don't think KJ Osborne. I think they can talk KJ Osborne off all they want to, but I don't think that was really going to matter. It's going to be more Hawkinson, Addison, and Madison. That's who's going to get the bulk of those catches and receptions and runners and all that stuff. So to me, I think they saying KJ to kind of throw people off, but I don't think it's KJ to be honest with you. And then Connor, even though they are not having the greatest season, but Connor was a big factor in that offense. So I think Connor's one, but it's just the injuries suck, man, because a lot of these guys are fantasy-wise, we're doing work.
Yeah.
I mean, and people were relying on them. So now you got to go. And this pretty much can make or break your season, these 4 games. So we're going to see. Who do you got as one of the injuries that's kind of crazy?
Well, speaking on James Conner, he was it is funny because we often sort of have dismissed James Conner as well. One of the reasons we did it because he's injury prone, and he managed to escape being injured all last year that we said he would be. But if I'm going to replace, I know for one. Of my leagues did pick up his backup. He came in and he had a really good game, and I think he's going to similarly do that again. I'm trying to check,
but he's not the number one running back. You know, they put somebody else.
But Keontae Ingram is the number one guy, but he has a neck injury, and so he's potentially gonna miss another game.
Yeah,
and so if that's your case, then you'll probably want to have picked up. The back of Amari, because he had when James Conner went out, Amari Demercado, he actually had a really good game in James Conner's absence.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on your fantasy league, I think that's probably your best bet. And like you said, if Keontae Ingram comes back,
Yeah.
maybe get But he's a rookie, and hey, let's see how he does. I think the Anthony Richardson injury probably, other than Justin Jefferson, there's not an injury as big as Justin Jefferson. But
Yeah,
after that, I probably go with uh, Anthony Richardson because he was projected by some to be the biggest contributor as far as rookie quarterbacks are. So a lot of people went high on Anthony Richardson, and
they
so
did.
if you did, hopefully you were able to get. I don't know. Do you think Gardner Minshew's an adequate replacement? He's not going to
I
get
think so.
Anthony Richardson numbers, but no, the offense has looked decent. They've won the
Well,
game. Hey, they won the games when they started Gardner Minshew.
Well, I think Gardner Minshew, if you're taking me talking about more of a pocket passer,
Yeah,
and Gardner Minshew's probably more of a pocket passer than Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson just made the offense a little bit more explosive
Yeah.
because his running ability, but it's showing you that maybe he needs to stop running and probably just get rid of the ball a lot more. And the way the injury, he did land on his shoulder, and I don't know if he was running. I think it was more of a sack than anything. So I think Gardner Minshew can carry the team. I think it's going to come down to Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor anyway. I think those are the two guys, which is surprising.
Yeah.
Zach Moss came out of nowhere like last week, even though Jonathan
Taylor is back, and all the news was you want to bench Zach Moss, which I did, and I regretted it greatly.
Me too.
I regretted it greatly. So apparently, you pay Jonathan Taylor all that money, and then you give Zach Moss career highs in every stat that mattered. So,
I'm like, man, really? Because I had him on the bench in the church league, and I could have won. Literally, he had put up 35 points, and I would have won the game if I would have put him in.
Oh yeah,
And so I'm like, really? And then this week, and it's gonna be a totally different story.
Right.
So it's like because they saying they're gonna ease Jonathan Taylor back this week. They ramping it up a little bit. I don't know. It's just. It's just crazy because those are the two biggest injuries.
Yeah.
Honestly, so I think the other ones are a little bit smaller. Honestly,
I think they're the ones.
A-Chain is one.
That was gonna be my next one. If you picked up A-Chain because he was before he went out, he had a great game, but if you got him, maybe you get. I saw people picking up Ahmad again. Not feeling that one. It's mustard or bust.
It's mustard and then Wilson, because Wilson's coming to the injury reserve this week. They say he practiced in full, so he's probably gonna get. He's probably gonna be on the active roster come Sunday. So it's mustard and Wilson. Honestly, those are the two that you really want to pick up. If you can get Wilson, I would go get Wilson if he's available. I picked him up in one league, so I think Wilson is probably he'll get some carries, but I think really it's mustard, to be honest. Ahmad, ain't nobody worrying about Ahmad right now, to be honest with you. So.
Welcome, Keisha, to the show. Good to have you back. Women's fantasy league is in full force tonight, so glad to have y'all here. And this is a good time just to say, if you haven't already done so, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button. It always helps us out, so we appreciate it. Top players?
A question from Justin.
All right, what you got?
Justin got a question. His first question, with Johnson coming back, what is Pickett's values? Does that kill his value with Deontay Johnson coming back?
I don't think it kills his volume. I think, as you said before, you saw Pickens take it over. I think Pickens remains at number one. I think that time that Johnson's been away just gave Kenny Pickett and Pickens more time to get together. But the sad part is the way that Steelers offense is looking so far. I don't really know. It's I don't know if there's a consistent wide receiver in that group that you can really call on until they start to get things working a little bit better. But I don't think Deontay Johnson takes too much. There's going to be still Deontay Johnson. They sometimes you need another wide receiver, so
Exactly.
there to take some of the heat off you, so the defense can't focus solely on you. So I think it actually makes things better, and hopefully that those two can both have better numbers in this next half. Hey, the Steelers are coming back from their bye week, right? And so if we looked at last year, that's when the Steelers really got things running once they came back from their bye week. So I'm hoping to see similar activity from this. So thanks for that question. And welcome, Tony, to the show. Tony Technology joining us in the call. So good to have you. I need you, Tony, to explain what happened with your Commanders, because I streamed, as you guys know, I stream defenses all the time, and I hit the Washington Commanders in several spots. We talked about that Bears game earlier. They were supposed to be good at defense, and I lost a few games because of them. So I hate your Commanders. Okay, I can see the comments back again now. Will Hayes with the question: we got to pick two from this group: Devontae Smith, David Montgomery, Joe Mixon, PPR. One of them's going to be in the flex spot. Are those three? Who do you like?
This is easy for me.
Okay, make it easy.
David Montgomery, definitely. You put him in the
I would
line.
never in life bench David Montgomery again.
No, David Montgomery, definitely.
Yeah.
And Devontae Smith.
Okay, I thought you.
For me, that's easy.
Okay.
I seen what the Bengals did last week,
Mm-hmm.
and the Bengals. I don't know if they all the way back, but they back.
They look back last week.
They look back. Yeah, they look back.
Jamar Chase especially looked back.
Yes. So
he was super back.
He definitely looked back. So I'm like, wait a minute. I think it's about to be the Cincinnati Bengals that we kind of know and we thought was going to be there from week one.
Yeah.
And like I always said, though, they always start slow.
Yeah,
and they
they're
probably
notorious
started to hit their peak now. And I think they supposed to get Higgins back this week. So if they get Higgins back this week, it's going to be, I got him. I need him to play this week.
I need that.
Yeah. So if I'm going David Montgomery and Devontae Smith, because I think Philly
against the Jets.
I mean, you got one. AJ, you got to stop AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to stop one of them.
I am definitely 100%. Like I said, I would never in life drop bench. I didn't drop David Montgomery. I won't be benching him again. I don't care if he's injured or not. Between Devontae Smith and Joe Mixon, I say they both have, I think, somewhat difficult defensive assignments. I'm going to give you the benefit of a doubt and say because Jamar Chase eats up so much of the air, I'm going to go Devontae Smith with you as well.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
They play the Jets. The Jets are going to focus more on the running aspect of Philly's game than they are the passing aspect. And the thing is, defense ain't that good. Like let's be honest.
Oh.
No disrespect. I mean, they showing you like they crazy, but my thing is, they can be that passing game can be poached a little bit, bro. Like, come on now. Like, they got one good corner, and that's Sauce Gardner. And Sauce Gardner gonna be on A.J. Brown. Then they got the second corner who Devontae Smith is gonna be on. Like, come on.
Okay. Anita, one in the other leagues to pick the Jags over the Bills. Ooh.
Mm.
Okay. Hey, I say this. We were talking NFL news.
Yeah.
There's news that they say that they could be expanding internationally in the NFL within the next couple of years. I would say if I'm the Jags, I volunteer to be the international expansion because
They need, that's their hometown. They need to find a flat drive on the opposite side of the street. They need to go.
Yeah, do whatever they can to be. Look, y'all can replace us with some other team in Jacksonville or anywhere else you want. Hey, put a team back in St. Louis if y'all want to. Do you? We gonna stay over here in London because
people love them over there.
They're beloved and they can't lose. So
yeah.
Justin is 3-2. That's not a bad start. Does he win this week? We have Jalen Hurts, Bijan Robinson, Josh Jacobs, CeeDee Lamb, Puka. Who had it? I know you haven't done your numbers yet, but Puka was representing this past week.
Yeah.
Darren Waller back in the building. Zay Flower, Darren Waller back for a week or so.
A week, yeah.
And then playing against C.J. Stroud, Eckler, Monty, Garrett Wilson, T. Higgins, Ferguson, James Cook, and the Cowboys defense.
I say Justin win. I think Hurts is playing lights out right now. Hurts is playing really well. Bijan is playing well.
Yeah.
I was totally wrong about Bijan, to be honest with you. So Bijan is playing well.
What's surprising is, despite the fact that they only run the ball, they're not really working Tyler Algier in as much.
At all.
He had that good first week just to say, hey, we remember you, and then they forgot him immediately after that.
I think I was wrong about Puka. I thought they really was going to cut Puka off, like at the knees, and he wasn't going to. But Cooper Kupp had, 10 receptions?
Cooper Kupp had, I know it was 11 and 12. I forget who had the 11.
It was a high number.
But they were basically had the same number of receptions.
Yeah,
I think Cooper Kupp had one more. I think it was Cooper Kupp with 12 and Puka with 11. Cooper Kupp had more yards, but Puka's the one that had the touchdown.
So yeah. I was wrong about that. You keep Puka. I mean, because I was saying sell high because I didn't know how they was going to use Puka along with.
I tried to sell high on Puka weeks ago before Cooper Kupp. Nobody would take my deal, so I'm like, all right, if y'all don't, I'm trying to do people a favor and help them win. Nobody bought. So
he got the Eagles defense, and the guy he's playing got the Cowboys defense. We just seen him get thrashed. So I like James Cook on the other team. C.J. Stroud, I love C.J. Stroud. Eckler's coming back this week, but I think he has the advantage.
Yeah.
As far as he got Jacobs, he got Puka, he got Bijan. So he's got a better roster overall. Mm-hmm. So I think he wins, honestly.
Okay. Who are you picking? Welcome Tony Cross Jr. to the show.
Welcome,
Appreciate having you. Who you like, Calvin Ridley or Travis Etienne?
They're on the same team.
Yeah, they're on the same team.
You play both?
I play Travis Etienne.
Me too, I would.
I play Travis Etienne, but I mean, if you can play them both.
The way he looked last week, I would play him.
But they're not playing in London this week.
So, they don't matter.
They don't matter?
No, I think they really going to make an effort because they talked them up this year, but I think they're going to try to make an effort to really get him the ball in there. Calvin really still going to get his regardless, but because he had a good game last week too, but Etienne was just, so I say that. But, yeah.
All right, this one's directed at you, Curtis Samuel.
I didn't say anything about
we didn't.
I don't think I said anything about Curtis Samuel.
I think she might have that backwards because you said, I think she meant the person that you told her to play instead of Curtis Samuel is the one who did.
I would never tell you to play Curtis Samuel.
Yeah, but maybe you should have because you don't think so? I can't. I'm trying to remember who you recommended and said, but Curtis Samuel is who she did play. Curtis Samuel went great. He's Curtis Samuel has been the best wide receiver for the Commanders. I don't know why or how, but
we maybe told her not to play Curtis Samuel because he just wasn't doing something. But I apologize, Mama. I'm sorry.
But I don't. Yeah, Curtis Samuel wasn't your recommendation. I think she backwards that one because I can't remember. I think it was it Michael Wilson or I don't remember.
Michael Wilson. It was Michael Wilson, probably.
Yeah, but hey, I say this: Curtis Samuel is playing surprisingly better than Jahan Dotson or Scary Terry,
which is surprising to me because I feel like Jahan Dotson would have been better than we thought. Because in the preseason, he looked like he was going to be really good. So
Yeah,
I don't know what happened with that.
I
So
can't
I don't
call it.
know.
Okay, so Tony Cross is Keisha's nephew. So welcome, fam. Appreciate having you here. Tony also has Justin winning that game, and the owner may want to move that to Jacksonville. Ain't look, go to London. That's 100% where I recommend being. Let's see. On our show last week, Nita tried to sell Justin Fields several times last
Yeah,
week. So hey, it didn't work. But that probably wouldn't have been a really good move.
yeah.
Uh,
Do you think?
she said okay. My mom was she said Curtis Samuel didn't help because he was on the bench. Well, yeah, yeah,
We thought Zach Moss was only gonna do that last week, and he was on the bench.
yeah. So
It happens.
fortune tellers, we are not. We try to go with the best we can, or the best we know. But it's hey, there's another week. There's another battle. Hey, maybe track her to Samuel this week. See
Yeah.
if you can hit the well with it. So, welcome Hans C to the show. Was
All right.
watching those Houston Astros just a few minutes before the game. Or before not before the game, a few minutes before the show started. I know they battle and they might be able to close it out tonight if they can keep going. So
It's the bottom of the ninth.
bottom of the
They still up 3-2.
they're still up 3-2.
And they gotta strike them out and no outs. So we about to see how this goes
All right.
down.
So we're depending on our producer to give us a live coverage of that game, see how that goes.
Oh, I can tell you how the WNBA thing's going too.
No.
If you want to know.
Oh yeah, Hans has said that. Welcome. Oh, glad they didn't trade really for A-Chain. I've actually done that. I've traded for a player, and literally the very next week they've gotten hurt. I've got burnt by that several times. So I'm glad you avoided that one.
Now, A-Chain, I will say
Yeah.
A-Chain, if dynasty purposes, is really good to keep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, dynasty purposes.
But I have A-Chain in one of my leagues. Not in the dynasty one though. I wish I did. I tried to get. I could not get any of those young running backs.
Yeah, nobody knows A-Chain was going to do this.
Well, yeah. Not what he's doing, but there was thoughts that he could that backfield was going to be up for grabs. So
yeah.
Do you have thoughts on Chuba Chuba for the rest of the season?
No, I don't like nobody in that Carolina backfield.
Not just the backfield. I don't like anyone on Carolina other than Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen somehow, no offense, Adam Thielen gave me many good years of fantasy football. But if Adam Thielen at 40,
30.
50, 60 years old is the best player on your team, things aren't
He's
good.
doing work though.
He is doing work. He is doing mad work.
I had him in the lineup last week. He gave me 32.
I was in one league where someone drafted Adam Thielen, and it was kind of because he went Adam Thielen like high,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of became a gag joke. Everybody's like, why are you picking? You're picking up a fantasy magazine from like 10 years ago. And
he's doing work now. I tell you that.
Hey, his team is number one in their division. His fantasy football team.
So that's all that matters.
Hey, it worked out. Phillies put a hurting on the Braves. But I'm actually kind of. I was debating whether whether I should root for the Braves. I used to live in Atlanta, or root for the Phillies, which I think I like more.
Yeah.
One, the Phillies have Bryce Harper, who used to play locally here. So been following him for a minute. I'm actually happy about the Phillies. It's been nothing but all the teams. Speaking of locally, here the Baltimore Orioles, 100 games and ended up getting swept. These high seeds have not performed as expected. I know baseball's not your thing, so you probably don't care at all. But Tom says he was able to get Jeff Wilson Jr. in his IRS.
Smart.
That works out very, especially with A-Chain going out. That should be good. And apparently, Justin. Why is Justin hating on Houston?
Justin, that's what Justin did.
All right.
That's what,
you and your Yankees, whatever. We get the Red Sox are the. You know what?
No,
Why did I
they're
even
not.
read that?
No, the Red Sox are not the worst team ever.
I didn't even know. I didn't even see. I got to stop just reading stuff before I get whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, I know he's saying the Red Sox are the worst to get to you, but I can tell you, I'm from a city that has the worst team ever.
Hey, we didn't lose 100 games like
exactly,
Kansas
and we
City
have lost
Royals
over 100
so.
games many years in a row. So I'm telling you, he is not a fan of the worst team ever. Trust me, he is not.
No, the Red Sox are they fall on hard times, but they have a schedule lately where they're good one year and then they're absolutely the worst the next year. So next year, watch out for the Red Sox. You heard it here first. Red Sox in the World Series.
And the Royals have to wait another 30 years before they get a World Series again.
Yeah, I think the Red Sox have been on again, off again. The Royals are consistent 30-year, 80s. And then they won a few years ago, so we've got like 2040 before we have to think about them again. So it's all good.
Oh my god!
All right, let's hit some of these NFL stat guys.
Let's go.
Who puts some work in?
So I'm gonna shout out Sam Howell. Sam Howell had a really good game, even though they lost.
Hey, you can for fantasy. I don't care. You can lose.
I don't care about either. 37 to 51, 388, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. He was sacked 5 times, though, but I will take that 114 points he gave me in fantasy.
By the way, y'all, he's talking about a lead that's like crazy points. Because somebody probably thought you misspoke. 114 points, but yeah.
I'll take that 114, I tell you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Josh Allen, 27 to 40, 359, 2 touchdowns. Desmond Ridder, 28 of 37 for 329 and a touchdown. And we have seen the return of Joe Burrow, 36 of 46 for 317 and 3 touchdowns. I'm sorry. Trevor Lawrence, 25 of 37, 315 and a touchdown. And I'm going to do one right now.
You going to do your boy right?
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention. All right,
That's
go ahead.
Right. We got to take baby steps, people. We got to take baby steps. So, everybody know I'm a 49ers fan. Everybody knows this. Everybody know that I was not a fan of Brock Purdy. And I have my reasons why. We're not going to talk about that, but I have my reasons why. But I watched the game on Sunday night. He played well. He made some throws here and there. That was pretty good. A little accuracy here, accuracy there, a little trick plays. And I kind of crossed the picket line on Brock Purdy. Crossed the picket line, and I'm going to support him, but he still got to show me one. Tony
beat you. You're taking too long with your apology. Tony beat you to it.
Dang, I mean, that comment came flying in, too.
So I was not wrong about Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is still surrounded by tons of talent. I mean, tons of talent. So I'm going to support him as an Niners fan.
Reel it in. And tell everybody Brock Purdy is the next Tom Brady.
Not saying
with
that.
4 touchdowns.
I will say Tom Brady is Brock Purdy is a good quarterback. Yes. And that's it.
Brock Purdy, the next Tom Brady. You heard it here.
I'm not saying that. So
no.
I still would say this is he has talent around him.
Oh yeah.
And I think he has a ton of talent around him that makes him look good, but I think he makes the right plays when necessary. So I would say that. But that's honorable mention.
Too long, didn't read. Rodney didn't know what he was talking about. Brock Purdy's good. Now and he lost $50. But I
didn't lose $50.
You lost. Not yet.
Not yet.
Rodney's going to lose. And the Astros win. Thank you all for bringing it in.
TV
Dusty Baker does it again. So we'll see. Now the question will be, how do they do against the Raiders? It's going to be an all Texas championship series. I told y'all the last time I'm rooting for Houston. I didn't think they could. I thought they would win this first round, but I'm hoping they can go all the way. We'll see. I hope I don't jinx them by rooting for them. I think there was a question in there. Yeah, there was. So in your 30-minute speech on giving.
Was not 30 minutes.
About 30 minutes on you giving Brock Purdy some respect for once. Haas asked, who would you go with this week, Zach Moss or Jahmyr Gibbs?
Rebound. Oh, dang it. Sorry.
I'm gonna say Zach Moss. I'm not doing it this week. Okay.
Right.
I'm not doing it this week. I'm not doing it. You cannot get me to do it. I'm not gonna do it. I probably not gonna do it. I'm going to Zach Moss. Jahmyr Gibbs has looked lost.
Yeah.
He remind me of CEH so bad. Oh my gosh! And I hope he doesn't turn out like him. The CEH is stuck as like the third running back.
Yeah.
On KC. So I'm going Zach Moss.
My mind is telling go Zach Moss. And I'm saying it with the fact knowing just because we mentioned, I don't know, Hansi, you were at the top of the show. Both of us bench Zach Moss because, like, okay, it's the return of Jonathan Taylor. And he just went crazy with career numbers.
Yeah.
And so this week we're saying play Zach Moss, and it's going to go the exact opposite way.
Probably it's gonna happen.
But here's the thing we can say for a fact. We have 6 weeks of evidence that Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get far fewer carries than David Montgomery will. So if you're playing for the potential, I'm going to still say Zach Moss. And this will be the week, of course, that Jahmyr Gibbs goes crazy and Zach Moss does nothing. But yeah, but that's a great. It's a hard one to choose between the two.
Yeah, I definitely, I agree.
Yeah, I know with you, the Rangers have been scarily good. So I did not expect the Rangers to be as good as they've been. So that's going to be interesting to see. Mama Hearts Najee Harris is on bye.
Yeah.
You have Dalvin Cook on the bench. Would you use him or look for someone else?
Look for someone else.
Not a fan of the Dalvin.
Let me tell you something. They took the restrictions off of
Breece Hall.
Breece Hall, and it's a wrap. You can forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might well try to look for somebody else. So I would try to find somebody else.
I mentioned the running back for the Cardinals. Maybe if he's available. What other running backs might you recommend that could be free agents right now or available?
You can try with Rashad, the running back for Chicago.
Rashad Johnson. He's supposed to start.
Rashad Johnson is starting this week. That's tough because it ain't that many running backs out there.
The running back waters are very shallow.
Shallow.
Yeah.
Shallow, baby. I'm trying to tell you.
Let me get back to you. Like I said,
it ain't much out there.
Amari is a good choice if you can get. Rashad Johnson's supposed to be starting. Another popular one on that same team. People have been going with Deontay Foreman. I don't know how much I believe in that though.
No, I don't know about that.
I don't think I'm buying it.
I'm not buying it.
Tajay Spears has scored Derrick Henry a couple of times, but I'm not trusted that one either. Yeah, I don't think there's.
Oh gosh.
While I can't endorse Dalvin Cook. It's gonna be hard to really let us. Hey, you let us know who might be available in your league, and then maybe we can give you some opinion on some of those players who we got. This is going back to your 80-minute information.
It was not an 80 minutes.
It's at least 80 minutes.
Yeah, look, y'all don't understand how hard it was for me to do this. Okay.
Yeah.
It was hard. Don't do me like that.
Yo, Jamal's been said he's been starting at. No, I actually know this one. This Jamal and I have had a conversation back and forth, trying to do some. We're trying to do some work. Laporta has been killing the game for me. He has a high price tag. I'm gonna just okay. I think something's falling apart in the studio here.
So you trying to make a trade for Laporta? Is that what you trying to do?
That's what he's trying to do. I have yet to fully pick up the phone. I did send one offer, so hey, let me know. Or we can discuss. Hey, I'm not ashamed to put out all the details. If you want to, Jamal, throw it in there and let Rodney decide whether it's a good trade or not.
Who is he trying to give you? Because I'm looking at his roster now.
Well, it's not who he was trying to give me. It's who I wanted out of that
Who you
grouping.
want?
Take a wild guess at me. And who do you think I'd want off that roster?
Let me look at who you need.
And while I do that, a good comment here. A guy and wow, and Hansley's actually dropped Zach Moss before the last game. I wouldn't have gone this. I benched him. I would not have gone as far as dropping him. No, I gotta see how things work out so much. Let's see, Dalvin Cook. We talked about.
I would do Hill if I was her.
Tony actually is saying that Tyjae Spears is the best bet out of that grouping. Hill, Justin Hill is not a bad one.
I think Justin Hill is probably the best one out of that group. I wouldn't even touch Zeke. That offense is too terrible right now.
I actually, now we're talking about dropping somebody. I actually had Mac Jones in a couple of 2 quarterback leagues. Oh, he's gone.
He's gone.
We're at that point in the season where you can kind of decide, because before we said don't make too many overreactions. We're at that point where you can kind of decide whether these guys suck or not. And Mac Jones is awful. And he was, even in a 2 quarterback league, he's not where we're holding on to.
No. He's just terrible. And they started him again this week. And he'll get benched again this week. I just don't understand it. Just don't play him. What are you trying to prove by playing him?
It's time for the Zap attack. That's all I can say. Not that he's good either. And maybe that's the reason. Maybe. But what do you think about Jaylen Warren? Do you think he's going to take over the job for Najee Harris soon?
I don't know, man. That's Jaylen Warren ain't look no better than Najee Harris, to be honest with you. Yeah. In my opinion, I mean, he catches out of the backfield a little bit better right now. But for me, I don't think they're actually using Najee like they're supposed to. And that's the deal.
I don't think they're using them like they should. But given the situation, I don't think they're going to switch up and give. I don't think Jaylen Warren can really handle a full load like that.
I don't think so either.
Right? I don't think he. I don't think he has the size. We've talked about this several times. The Steelers got to get back to playing Steelers football. Yep. The offensive line sucks to all get out, but you got to hammer. You got to give. Najee's not. Here's the thing: Jaylen Warren's a lot more explosive, and he can get going better than Najee Harris. But you don't have Najee Harris to be explosive. You have him because he's big, and you have to hammer him. You have to give Najee Harris at least 20 carries a game before you start to really get the benefits of running a guy like Najee Harris. I think, the Steelers need to commit to doing that. And
that's the problem.
Until they do, they still don't seem convinced to want to really give Jaylen Warren the amount of carries that Najee Harris even gets. So I don't see him taking over the role. I think at worst it's some sort of split. But yeah, going back to, did you figure out, if you haven't figured out who I wanted, you can see it in the comments. I was going after Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, I see, but you wanted Brown.
Marquise Brown and Higbee. And I'm giving up Scary Terry, Sam Laporta, and Rachaad White. The main trade-offs of that are, of course, Josh Jacobs and Sam Laporta. The other two are sort of just try to balance out each other.
I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because you do need a running back. I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because you got Najee, you got Rachaad. I see what you're doing. Me personally, because you got Montgomery, I'm halfway making that move.
You're half?
I'm making that move.
It's a tough one. It's.
I mean, your tight end you got to go back to Kyle Pitts, which is what?
Yeah.
I mean, Kyle Pitts had a halfway decent game last week. So.
He had one. The crazy part is Kyle Pitts was drafted to be my number 1 tight end, and he has. I think I may have played him 1 week this whole season.
I mean, he does. I think Jacobs makes you better. Even Brown to a certain point, you're getting good value back with Brown too.
Yeah.
Because Brown is giving you. He gave you 14, 17, 16, 16. I mean, that ain't bad.
Yeah.
That's somebody you can for bye weeks because you really don't need them as far as receivers.
While you're contemplating the trade itself, what do you think of Jamal Williams? Do you hold on to him? I don't.
No, not with Kamara back. No.
Once they announced that Kamara's suspension was only going to be 3 games, to me, Jamal Williams.
Yeah, he was dead after that.
Yeah, so he's so no. I am 100% happy, content with the 3 weeks Jamal Williams gave, and then I let him go.
I say make the trade. I think because you're getting better at running back. Your running backs are kind of iffy with Najee.
Well, for me, of course. I mean, I made the suggestion, so of course I'm for it. But do you if you are Jamal, would you make that trade? Is the question.
I make that trade. He needs. Yeah, why not? Back with Porter. I mean, he getting back a good receiver. Rachaad White need to get it together, but
Rachaad White is the wild card in that one because he could lose his job. Honestly, hey, Jamal, one thing I will do is I always keep it real. I won't try to do anybody bad. I put all the cards on the table. When have I ever made a trade to try to take advantage of something? Not once. And so I shoot myself in the foot just talking to trade. Rachaad White was supposed to be really good this year. And he hasn't been.
He got running backs.
He's got running backs, yeah.
He got Pierce, he got Gibbs. If Gibbs ever get his life together, he could be all right.
Yeah.
If he ever get his life together, we don't know that yet.
Yeah, we'll see.
But I mean, he got some running backs. I think he can do away with Jacobs.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they want my true opinion, I think he should take the trade. But my true opinion is this: both of y'all shouldn't do nothing because I'm sitting in third right behind y'all. So both of y'all shouldn't.
So your own selfish motivation comes in.
I'm sitting in fourth right now, so y'all shouldn't do a thing.
All right.
Y'all should stay pat.
Say where we are. Advice from Rodney. Thank you. Don't listen.
I'm just saying.
All right.
But Jamal, take the trade.
All right. I need to ask, were Daniel Jones, Mac Jones, and Zach Wilson all in the same class? No, they weren't all in the same draft class. But they're
Daniel Jones, Mac Jones, and Zach Wilson was.
Daniel Jones is a bit older. But
he's been in the league 5 years, I think. Yeah.
But
5 years now.
They're all equally not. I guess of those 3 though. Who do you think has the bigger future? I know Daniel Jones has the biggest bank account with $40 million.
I think Mac Jones is going to be, after this year, he's going to be a backup, career backup somewhere. Same thing with Zach Wilson. They're career backups after this. Daniel Jones, unfortunately, has a big contract, and they got to pay him $40 million this year and next year. But after that,
do you think he has more talent than the other 2, or are they all equally bad?
All of them bad.
Yeah.
All of them equally bad. Daniel Jones just happened to have a good season and he got a contract.
Yeah.
Matt Jones is not even going to make it that far, and Zach Wilson he's not going to make it that far either to a big contract.
Justin can help out with this one. Despite everything that's looking, I still see glimpses in Zach Wilson that makes me think maybe, just maybe, there's some hope.
Hey, Justin
I don't.
Can't help you out.
Justin's not going to help.
Justin said,
when
the show came on, he said he sucked.
Yeah, he did. He did say it at the top. I don't believe Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones to me just isn't that good. He lives off of Saquon Barkley. Mac Jones is awful. I already talked about it. I think Zach Wilson is not good, but no. I think I'm holding on to hope, and hope is a dangerous thing. I'm holding on to hope that maybe in time he can be decent. Or at least serviceable.
I would say this.
Maybe not a star, like you said. If he can be a decent backup, then that's something. But I think he can be a okay guy.
Zach Wilson probably is, if you're talking about overall rosters.
Yeah.
Zach Wilson probably is in the best situation as far as overall rosters.
I see Zach Wilson at least able to beat Trent Dilfer, and for me that's. No.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's good, but Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl.
No, not even. Jeez.
All right.
Okay, whatever. Let's get back to
running backs you were talking about.
He said Super Bowl. Zach Wilson. What is going on?
I didn't say Zach Wilson. I'm saying he could be as good as someone who won a Super Bowl named Trent Dilfer.
He is probably he's going to be a career backup after this. So you can forget that. I mean, but we're off camera about.
All right, go ahead.
Brees Hall back like he never left. 22 carries, 177 yards, and a touchdown. Zach Moss, 23 carries, 165 yards, 2 touchdowns. A-Chain, although he's injured now, 11 carries, 151, and a touchdown. Travis Etienne, 26, 126, 2 touchdowns. And David Montgomery, 19 carries, 109, and a touchdown.
All right, I've got nothing to add to that list. That's
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, I'm good.
Finish it off with these good old receivers
and tight ends.
Yeah, I'm not a tight end guy nowadays. They don't like me, and I don't like them. You know what it is. But we'll shout out George Kittle though.
There you go. That's the only one.
Yeah, he's the only one. DJ Moore, 8 receptions, 230 yards, 3 touchdowns. I watched that game and I was like, God dang, he killing them.
Justin Fields has a perfect QB quarterback rating when he throws to DJ Moore. And I think he only threw to like 3 receivers in that entire game against the Commanders, and yet and still they could do nothing to stop them. But
he's the only one that he trusts.
Yeah,
and I don't blame him. Jamar Chase, 15 receptions, 192 yards, and 3 touchdowns. The man say I'm always open.
7-11.
Never lied.
He said
I'm like 7-11. I'm always open.
Do you think he can do that against the Seahawks secondary?
Yes. The Giants made the Seahawks secondary look good.
True enough.
I mean, let's be real. They don't make them look good. But I don't think Seattle's defense is great like that.
Yeah, Seattle's been a bit disappointing to me this year. But
I expected more from them. Yeah. So
who else
I think the roles got reversed with the Rams in Seattle.
The Rams have been surprisingly good. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Tyreek Hill, 8 receptions, 181, and a touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, a blast from the past. Sad, I had him on the bench, and I didn't play him.
My brother from another mother. I did the same thing.
I was like, Jesus.
I can't. I'm trying to remember who it was I put in his place, and it.
I can tell you, I put it in Jameson Williams, and I was like,
why did you do that though?
Because first of all, they didn't have St. Brown. They were missing a couple of receivers, so I thought he would kind of do work. DeAndre Hopkins, 8 receptions, 140 yards. And George Pickens, 6 receptions, 130 yards. I think this was the breakout game for George Pickens in a way, in my opinion, because I think that touchdown, that 41-yard touchdown pass, that was all him just going up. Because if you notice, George Pickens really doesn't run great routes. He's more of a guy that go up and catch it. But his route tree is really not that great if you watch him. So I think more if you just get the ball in his area, he's going to go for it.
Yeah.
Type. So he's that type of. But I like George Pickens a lot.
Yeah.
And I think if you just get him the ball, he's so big. It's like you gotta get him, put the ball in the area where he's at, and I think he'll be all right. Shout out George Kittle's 3 touchdowns.
On only 4 targets. So
4 targets.
75% of his targets ended up being touchdowns.
But I will say this: he's gonna get fined probably $11,000 for sure.
Yeah.
Which I'm all well with that. I think ownership should pay the fine personally. So Michael Parsons took a little heart to it or whatever.
He believes he says, but basically just say, yeah, we're not that far from y'all. They're basically the same thing. I was like, you didn't see that game. Because Deebo Samuel has been going back and forth with Michael Parsons a little bit this week. Yeah.
I don't like that he got a podcast. And no disrespect to
everyone. Well, we have one, but everyone. Why does every player have a podcast right now? Don't y'all have practice?
I think that is so stupid.
Yeah.
Don't you got today or something?
A playbook you need to be into?
I think it's dumb though.
Yeah.
Like you go up there and you recap the game that y'all had, that y'all lost, that y'all got blown out for. Even if y'all won, you don't go up there and recap the game. I think it's dumb. Like you need to be watching film or something.
Yeah.
And then you got beef, and you
with the exception of New Heights, with the Kelsey brothers, because that is the most entertaining podcast, but not because of football stuff. It's everything outside of football that makes that one great.
No, but the thing is this. That show is different because they talk about different things. Michael Parsons goes up there and discusses the whole game or what went wrong, why they did this, and things. That's for a coach's room and figuring that stuff out. And then you get mad because the team, you say a stupid comment like that. That makes no sense. Come on, man.
All right, we got a trade. T. Higgins for Calvin Ridley.
T. Higgins for Calvin Ridley. Is he getting Ridley?
I don't know. What do you think about it? I don't know.
I'm doing it.
You're doing it to get Ridley?
To get Ridley.
Not the other way around.
Yeah.
See, my issue is
Ridley's a one.
T. Higgins is kind of a one who hasn't been one so far. Yes. But I'm wondering, do they come back around now that the Bengals are starting to look like they are the Bengals again? Assuming T. Higgins is healthy.
I agree with you on that part of it, but I would still think Ridley is still the bona fide number one. Then, because remember last week I thought, hey, Ridley had an off week, but he came back, did work.
We're talking about him versus Christian Kirk.
But I think Ridley gets a lot of those. He gets a lot of those targets. Honestly, T. Higgins is a fine receiver, no doubt about it. He just right now, if they get the train rolling, I think they're gonna be good. T. Higgins is gonna get his 6-7 receptions, 80, 90 yards. Ridley's gonna get 100, 120, 8, 9 receptions, 10 receptions, something like that. So I'll go Ridley. If you get him Ridley, yes. I wouldn't do it if you're getting rid of Ridley, I wouldn't do it.
Ja'Marr Chase is definitely the one. T. Higgins is the 2, but I think it's a high 2. I'm gonna still say Ridley is probably in a 1A, 1B with Christian Kirk. For the rest of the year. But is that 1B good enough to be better than T. Higgins?
Well, Ridley's the 1A though.
It's debatable. It's debatable. That if you look at Ridley and Christian Kirk's stats, they're very close to each other so far this season. In fact, if I remember correctly, I think Christian Kirk has actually gotten more targets so far this year than Christian Kirk. But ask me who's the better wide receiver, I'm going to agree with you, and I'm going to say Ridley. So I think it's kind of a draw between the two. Thanks for the question. Appreciate it. I mean, but if you ask me, I would go for it. Yeah, I'd probably say go Ridley over Higgins. Mainly for health reasons for me. I think that's why
he's definitely not.
T. Higgins has been questionable. This I don't know. Especially starting with that first game, T. Higgins has been very questionable this year. I go with Calvin Ridley over the T. Higgins thing. Yeah.
Now, do you think the contract is playing a part in that because he hasn't gotten paid?
But I think that's the motivation to play better.
Well, I think they're gonna trade him.
I would be surprised if they don't. They can't keep Ja'Marr Chase and T. Higgins at the value they're worth.
Yeah, I think they trade him at the deadline.
Yeah.
And now, if that's the case, if T. Higgins goes to any, like, say he goes to Houston.
Let's say he goes to a team that needs a really good wide receiver, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, my God. Yeah. He's better than Ridley at that. Now, if that's the case, and you're telling me T. Higgins in Kansas City, then we can talk. That's a talk.
But no reasonable person is going to make that trade with you once that gets announced.
No, you can forget don't even worry about that.
Yeah, no one's let go of Higgins if you tell me I get Higgins and Patrick Mahomes. So
I mean, because my thing is Higgins wants $20 million, $25 million.
That's a lot of million.
Yeah, and you got to pay Chase.
Yeah.
30. Yeah. 35. Some stupid number like that, probably. So, yeah. But I would do it if it's for.
All right. Do the trade. Hazi asks in a 10-team league. Thanks again for the question, Quinn. You said he said it wide receiver, but RB1 and RB2 in the draft were Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs. Wow, you got okay, okay, wow. Congratulations to you. Please tell me that's the dynasty league. It's probably not, but if you there's no way you get Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs. But anyway, back to the question. You have Warren. Jalen Warren, I guess it is. Zach Cabernet. He hits like all the young guys. Zach Moss, Keontae Ingram, and Jeff Wilson Jr. on the bench. You can see the dilemma.
Yeah.
That's a lot of running backs. That's a lot of backs. How deep is that bench?
Probably six. Yeah, probably six.
And probably, you have any other positions. But that's it. Any good trading options for a solid running back? The guy offered Ridley for Aaron Jones rejected me. The guy he offered Ridley for Aaron Jones.
Yeah, projecting him. I think.
Yeah, let's see.
Man, that's
I'm trying to think. Could you? It's gonna unless Jeff Wilson comes in and has a really good game. You probably lost the opportunity to really try to move. Let's say I'm looking at all these running backs. Could you package some of those together for somebody? But I don't know. Could you package one of those? The guy rejected the Ridley for Aaron Jones trade. Could you put Ridley with one of those running backs and maybe get a good running back in return? And who?
I mean,
Jalen Warren, Zach Moss would have been I don't know with the John Taylor thing whether you could get it.
I mean,
but
but the Zach Moss thing is kind of It's funny because you don't know. Like last week, was it the norm or just because Jonathan Taylor not ready yet, or that's tough because
that's.
Now I will say Jeff Wilson Jr. you may get something out of.
Yeah, like I said, if he has a really good game with A-Chain out, maybe you could try to sell high on that. But you kind of have to really,
I mean, Zach Moss and Jeff Wilson probably the two that I would try to get something out of. I mean, using the lineup, but these others.
I mean, after Bijan, there's really not a lot to love in this running back room. So, Jahmyr Gibbs was supposed to be. So, sorry that didn't work out for you.
If you ever get his life together.
Yeah. So, if he can get his life together, just been holding on to the guys at running back, hoping for somebody to come up big. If it goes to a situation when Jalen Warren gets more love, but I just don't see that happening. I think that's a lot of. With that group of guys, you're really just hoping someone. You don't want to do this, but you're kind of waiting for someone to get injured and get an opportunity because I don't think any of those guys are going to step up and become the guy, except for maybe Zach Moss, who's been that so far.
So, do you think packaging a Ridley and a Jeff Wilson or a Moss for an Aaron Jones works, or is that too much? You're giving him a running back. You're giving him Ridley for an Aaron Jones.
Yeah,
he's getting what he wants. Obviously, the other guy's getting what he wants. Yeah. Now, I would package. I would do. You might have to do a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
Just to get the running back that you want. Probably for me.
But what do you think about selling high on Keenan Allen for a good running back?
Yeah, why not? I mean,
depending on you apparently had Calvin Ridley, so that makes
he says depending on
straight. So your wide receivers are good.
If Keenan Allen is your third receiver or your fourth receiver, and your receivers are that good, probably wait one of them.
I'd say, but if I'm giving up because Keenan Allen is having an awesome season, you better get your money's worth.
I mean, I'm doing Keenan Allen for Aaron Jones or a running back higher.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I love Aaron Jones, but I'm shooting higher. than
Aaron Jones. Higher, like a Breece Hall.
No one's giving up Breece Hall. I don't think.
I mean Montgomery.
Keenan Allen's been crazy good this year.
Montgomery's been good too.
Montgomery's been crazy good as well.
I mean, I'm going Hal Montgomery for Keenan Allen for Montgomery, or you package, like I say, add just to kind of sweeten the deal. Throw one of those running backs in there, like a Zach Moss or Jeff Wilson or something to kind of make it work for you.
What do you think the trade value would be to get Joe Mixon? Because like if they start slow, it might be picking up. I really would.
I think it's pretty low. Yeah. I think you can get them for cheaper than the Arians.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't value him.
That's what I'm thinking. He's one of the guys that a lot of times you can get advantage of people overlooking what he would do. Oh, wide receiver one is Tyreek Hill. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like you got the receivers.
Yeah, you can part with yeah. If Tyreek Hill is your one, then
yeah, I'm packaging one of those receivers.
If I forgot Tyreek Hill and I'm going with Calvin Ridley, I can get rid of Keenan Allen for less than what I initially thought. Yeah, that's but hey, I will say making trades. In one league, I've been trying to package Tua with someone, and I can't get anyone to bite on that. I was like,
that's crazy. I'll take Tua in a heartbeat.
I don't get it either, but we'll see where it goes. All right, let's thanks for that question. A tight end need. Tight ends on bye. You have to pick between Jake Ferguson and Logan. Logan Thomas has. I think I ride Logan Thomas while he's not hurt. So I like Jake Ferguson. I have him a couple of leagues too, but I'm for a 1 week fill in. I'm Logan Thomas all the way.
Thomas too.
Bottom of the barrel. Yeah, she hasn't gotten a win in that comedy club in the Uptown Comedy Club league. So hopefully this can be the week for you. But yeah, definitely Logan Thomas. And Nita's doing the same in the other league, but Nita's killing it in the Comedy Club league. Welcome Cohen to the show. Appreciate you. Would you do a trade for Tony Pollard? He had a really bad week, but he played the 49ers. Everyone has a really bad week against the 49ers. That's just par for the course. Right now, his running backs are David Montgomery, Breece Hall, and Jonathan Taylor. I don't know. I think I say where I'm at.
Why would you do that?
As I read those names, Cohen, I love Tony and Pollard. I don't think you need to make a trade.
Now the question is, can he get in the lineup?
Yeah.
Like, because he's not getting in the lineup with Breece Hall.
Yeah.
He's not getting in the lineup with Monty. And definitely Jonathan Taylor coming back.
Jonathan Taylor is the only question. Monty and Breece Hall are stables.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor is the question mark, but we've seen what Jonathan Taylor can be.
Yeah. I'm not trading for Pollard.
I don't think you're gonna get much more for Pollard than what you would possibly get, because like I said, those two running backs aren't going anywhere on my roster. So you're really just saying, can I get a trade? And the question comes to me, what am I giving away to get Tony Pollard on my team? And does that justify more than what I would get from Jonathan Taylor? We've seen what Zach Moss can do with that line. Jonathan Taylor is a better running back than Zach Moss, and it's not even close. The question is, Zach Moss has just been producing so much. So how long does it take Jonathan Taylor to get up to speed? And it's certain. We saw different team altogether. Josh Jacobs held out the whole offseason, and it's just really like last week we started to see Josh Jacobs look like the Josh Jacobs from last year. So you're gonna probably have some weeks where Jonathan Taylor disappoints you, but by the playoffs, and hopefully you're in the position to make the playoffs, I'm staying where I am. Yeah. But this team he gets more details later. The running back that we said before. He also has Hurts, AJ Brown, Cooper Kupp, and Devontae. No, I'm not making a move.
No,
I'm riding with that squad.
Oh,
that's why. Hey, Cohen, you have a good team. I'm just gonna see where now. It depends. The funny part about fantasy football, even with a team that's really good, sometimes things don't work out. Depends on how the other teams look in your league. 12-man league. Yeah. That's a really good 12-man team. I'm staying put. Yeah, I'm staying put with that. But thanks for the question.
To that super chat
the only question. We don't have a super chat turned on. The only thing that might bother you, because you have Jalen Hurts you have the AJ Brown, Devonta Smith combination. Sometimes people don't want to have the same wide receiver. I'd make an exception. I make an exception for that one.
No, I'm good. Sure will.
Yeah, and I'm going to wrap with those strong group of running backs. I stay with it. So thanks for the question. Appreciate you. Good luck. Hey, let us know how your season goes.
Like and subscribe, please.
Hit subscribe. Appreciate
but we do need to look into that super chat because that's how you get paid.
Well, I don't do this for the money. I do it for the love.
I do it for the love too, but I'm just letting you know. I'm just telling you.
He said that. I just want you to notice. He said that real quick.
Say what?
He said that real quick. You know, that's how we can get paid. Like out of everything else he said that one real
No,
fast.
I watch a lot of. I'm telling you, all just aside. I watch a lot of other guys, and they do super chat. He's not lying though. So
yeah. But we do appreciate you.
We do it for love.
Look at it. Let's see. Logan, it is needed. They're going back over about making adjustments. Tony's hoping. Hey, I'm hoping Aaron. This is actually one of the first seasons in forever that I didn't have Aaron Jones on a single roster.
Yeah, I couldn't get him.
Yeah, couldn't either.
I couldn't get him, and he normally falls low.
Yeah.
Honest with you. I couldn't get him for some reason. A lot of people snatched him up early.
Yeah,
running backs are not.
I say one thing. AJ Dillon has had all this time to shine. AJ Dillon is terrible.
Oh,
and I don't understand why. But
he's terrible. Now let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor back, right? Trade deadline coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Do they trade Zach Moss?
I don't. One thing this season has showed us is you can't have too many running backs. I don't, because you don't have to pay Zach Moss anything. Why trade him?
It's not even about paying Zach Moss. It's more about the talent of Zach Moss.
He's talented. I think.
What if the team come calling for Zach Moss?
They better come calling with a lot to offer, because I don't let Zach Moss out of that grouping, because we've seen Jonathan Taylor get hurt on more than one occasion.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm all for rewarding your guys. So no, I don't listen unless it's a really good offer. Hans, let's get your question, but I'm gonna come back to the trading thing, because there is a trade rumor going about. I want to get your opinion on that one. Who's more valuable the rest of the season, Calvin Ridley or Keenan Allen? I'm Allen myself, just because of his quarterback. Unless Justin Herbert's finger ends up being worse than presumed, and even then, I'm gonna go Keenan Allen, especially with no Mike Williams.
No Mike Williams.
Yeah, no Mike Williams there. And
I tell you this, Eckler and Keenan Allen are gonna eat.
They are gonna feast.
I mean, they're gonna eat so much, and I can't wait this week because I get Herbert back in all my leagues.
I have Herbert in a few leagues, and I'm looking for a lot of W's.
Wait, man, who are you telling, man? Lord,
not just in my regular fantasy football, but in my best ball team, where I'm trying to make some more of those quarters.
Oh gosh.
Who are some of your sit starts for this week? Good question, Cohen. Appreciate that one.
That's a good question. Man, let me go to the well a little bit here.
While we get into that one, I mentioned a trade. There's the news that the Vikings may or may not be interested in trading Kirk Cousins. What do you think about that one? Why are you thinking of your sit starts?
I think they trade Kirk Cousins because Kirk Cousins, they're not going to resign him to. If anybody go back and look at Kirk Cousins' last couple of contracts, all his money has been guaranteed. Every dime of his money has been guaranteed. So Kirk Cousins is not going to go to any other team to where he can't get a guaranteed contract. And Minnesota already said, we're not giving you a new contract. Yeah. So he can literally walk this year and be an unrestricted free agent. So if you just let him walk and don't get anything for him, it makes no sense as an owner, GM, or whatever. But for me, I trade him for, I don't know for who, but you trade him and try to get a first round, because you probably could get a first round pick for Kirk Cousins, or a couple firsts for Kirk Cousins. Because the way it's going, if not a first, from the right team, they give it to you. I say trade because no Jefferson for the next 4 games. Obviously, if they lose these next 4 games, they ain't going to the playoffs anyway. And my thing is, you try to salvage something with the Kirk Cousins thing. I would trade him for a couple firsts just to see what you got and draft. Caleb Williams might come out next year, might not.
According to his father, depending on who his dad is. I mean, whose team he is.
Yeah, but I think now you know who because I'm hearing also that Arizona might not want.
Yeah.
Cal, I can't think of his name. I'm sorry. The quarterback,
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Moore. They want Kyler Murray. Yeah. They don't want Kyler Murray past this year. And they made trade for Kirk. They got a first round pick this year, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. So they're gonna have a first round pick. I pick this year. So I don't know. I make the trade. Mm-hmm. I trade Kirk Cousins personally, if it's me. So.
Any thoughts on your start sits?
Yes. I'm sitting Derek Carr this week.
My guy.
Yeah. I say that only because of this. Mm-hmm. The way they use Derek Carr out there is strange to me. You pay this guy $100 million, right? But you you're taking him out of the game, in and out of the game, 5 and 6 times a week. To me, the chemistry is gone once you do that. You can't keep doing that. And you're bringing him in for Taysom Hill to run 1 yard. What is that? I'm trying to figure out what is going on. I think you sit him, even though it's a good game against Houston, obviously. But if you're looking for points fantasy-wise, they take him out of the game too much for me. Now, my start, this might sound crazy, but I'm starting Sam Howell against Atlanta.
I'm not mad at that.
Sam Howell showed that he can be productive as far as throwing the football. Atlanta ain't got the greatest defense. So it's definitely a start this week for me. I'm sitting Jerome Ford.
I was gonna say I'm sitting the entire Cleveland Browns roster. Yeah.
I'm sitting Jerome Ford this week.
Yeah.
If you got Watson and you gotta play Watson, that's something different.
I hope you have something better. I don't. Yeah. I think that's gonna be ugly. But yeah.
But they saying P.J. Walker may play this week. He might not play. You don't play P.J. Walker at all.
Yeah. Deshaun Watson would be the one possible play if he plays. But if he doesn't, I'm benching Cleveland, the whole city. Everyone in Cleveland just stay home. Don't go.
Yeah. And I'm playing Adam Thielen this week.
Adam Thielen is a really good start for this week.
I'm playing against Miami. I think it's going to be kind of a shootout. Because Miami don't play good.
Yeah.
Just like Carolina don't. Carolina defense has been slipping lately. So I think Thielen is a great play. And I'm playing Eckler. Eckler coming back this week. You got it. Eckler's a must start.
You start Eckler no matter what the situation is.
Anyway. That's all I got. I mean, because everybody's on the bye. Now the question is for you. Do you trust Desmond Ridder against Washington's defense?
Based off the defense we saw a week ago with Justin Wilson, yeah. I don't think they fix all those problems in 1 week. So I'm all comfortable with Desmond Ridder this week. Washington burnt me so badly. Before I get into I'm gonna give a couple of them myself. But I want to get to some of these questions. First off, much appreciated, Captain Bracey. Hey, we try to do the best we can. As pointed out, sometimes we miss, sometimes we hit. We do our thing, but we just love the conversation with you all. The Spears, Justice Hill, and Elliott all projected to do more than Dalvin. Did we suggest Dalvin Cook? I don't think we did.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, so you can hope Dalvin Cook has a good week. I don't do it. I do either just like you mentioned Justice Hill, and if not him, I go with Tyjae Spears because Tyjae Spears has been managing to get a lot of carries in that offense. But I do not. We do not recommend Dalvin Cook at all. So,
not at all.
So leave Dalvin Cook exactly where he is. If you can get those other players, if that wasn't clear, make sure it's clear now. Dalvin Cook is not to play.
Never said Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook is not to play. Hunton might try to package Ridley and Myers to get Josh Jacobs. Ooh, if you can. Hey,
Myers actually on the low. Myers is playing well.
He's been playing really well.
Yeah, on the low. Yeah.
But he should, because Devontae opens up the door for Jacoby to do work. And Jacoby, it's bad that we were discussing, I think, before the show started, how bad Jimmy G is, interception machine. But he loves him some Jacoby Myers. So
he does.
So hopefully you can make that happen. So if you can get that, that's good. What about for Alvin Kamara? That same package.
I do that too.
I do either one of those because Kamara's been hitting.
He's
nice
been
since
good
he's been back. So I'm all for it. If you can pull off either one of those, Hans, we're both in on that. Did I get all the ones I wanted? Yeah, Cook was on her bench. Yeah, but don't play him. Not that folks have forgotten about Cousins guaranteed money. The difference, he gets it's crazy. Need to mention watching Uncle Shade. Now I did watch the Marshawn Lynch episode. But as a general habit, I don't do a lot of Sterling shop. But that's another conversation for another time. Some starts and sits. I mentioned before, I'm sitting the whole city of Cleveland. I don't care who they are. Deshaun Watson would be the only possible one I would do, and I wouldn't even do that one for coming off. Here's a start I like. A guy I wasn't keen on, and I thought was going to have a fairly not bad, but I thought he was going to have a mediocre week. Justin Fields. But this week against Minnesota, I think Justin Fields goes bonkers crazy because I don't think Minnesota has found a defense yet. So I don't know if you're gonna get. He's thrown for 3 and 4 touchdowns the last 2 weeks.
Yes,
I would be very disappointed if Justin Fields didn't get you another 3 touchdowns this week.
Is Justin Fields hitting his stride?
Hey, the second half of the season last year was when he started getting in his stride. Now, I will say this. I don't really think Justin Fields is as good as he's been the last few weeks. Mm-hmm. But he's hitting a part of the schedule against easy defenses, which is crazy because the Broncos calling card was supposed to be defense. That didn't exist. The Washington team was supposed to have a good defense. Tony, I'm looking at you. They were terrible. Minnesota is known for having a bad defense, right?
Yeah.
So this game, if he can do what he did against the last 2 weeks, Justin Fields should go bonkers crazy. And with that, like we said before, he only throws to DJ Moore. So, that's when you should go with. That game should be – I'm sad in my heart that Justin Jefferson got hurt before this game happened. Because
let me tell you,
this game would have been – beautiful for Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins going against Justin Fields and DJ Moore. That would be points. Right now, the over-under is only, and I say only 44.5 for that one. I think if you had Justin Fields in there, that thing would probably top 50. I don't have them to show to you, but we normally say look at the over-unders to find your good games. And one of the good games based off the over-under is the Broncos and Chiefs on Thursday night. Thursday nights are usually the sit-em-all nights. Tomorrow, I expect that because somehow, despite the fact he's bad, Russell Wilson has managed to be fantasy football good, right? And so I'm playing guys in that league because I'm watching to see what happens with Travis Kelce. I think he plays. But if he doesn't, someone's got to pick up the slack. I like McKinnon. I think McKinnon is a possible guy. And you're going to probably laugh me off the show with this one.
McKinnon?
But if you think that's bad, listen for this one. His first week was terrible. But Kadarius Toney has been getting more and more targets as the weeks have gone. I think now here's the if Travis Kelce is out, is a chance for him to redeem himself.
No.
I don't start him unless you're absolutely desperate because you've lost. I'm saying this to the person who has lost many players to injury. If you're innocent, I was so desperate last week, people. I started Adam Lazard. It did not work out well at all.
You play if anybody from that team you play.
Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice is the first go-to guy, but Rashee Rice should not be that available on. Well, he might be.
Yes,
if you can get hit, yeah, he should. Rashee Rice. I'm thinking our dynasty league.
Yeah,
you can get Rashee Rice for the touchdown, or like I said, I think this is a redemption game. Only if Travis Kelce's out, and only if you're desperate. No,
you say Kelce's playing, man. They say he's playing.
Yeah, he's supposed to play. You're a hater, by the way.
I'm not a hater. I'm just telling you.
Jeez, you're a little bit of a hater. And here's I got one more. I'm sitting Colts. Put them in, except for they get their running game. But if you have Michael Pittman Jr., I don't like him against the Jaguars. They're not in London. they have to go back home. But I don't know if I trust Gardner Minshew enough. Now they've managed to win, but the last time they played the Jaguars, put their easy work on the Colts, and I think they do that again. So I'm sitting Colts players, and I'm going with Jaguars having a really good game. So those are a few. We had some questions and comments pop in. Shannon Sharp or Sterling Sharp, what they do beat the hey, that was uncalled for, Anita. I don't.
Oh God.
and I'm surprised, Nita, that you said the only person that picked the Raiders in their money pot won the pot. I believe I told y'all a week ago the Raiders were going to beat the Packers because on Monday nights they managed to get good sometimes. Why wouldn't you pick the Raiders to beat the Packers? Anyway, I'm gonna just keep on going. Let's go to this question. Johnny D, welcome to the show. Yeah, I see it down, but I already started saying it, so I'm gonna finish. Johnny D, welcome to the show. Very frustrated with how the season's going. I'm in the club with you.
Everybody.
Every week, just one player on the opponent has a crazy boom game. Would you also believe that the highest score? This was like 2 years ago. I was the highest scoring person in our league. Barely made the playoffs at the very end.
You know what it is? He's running up against people that just give him his best every week, and he just and they probably running up the score together. And it's probably they just doing a little bit more to win, and it's crazy.
It's just sometimes you just hit that. I cannot tell you how many times I've had explosive games, and the person I'm playing against just out of nowhere. So a lot of times people that have what look like really terrible rosters will find a way to do so. So Johnny, we feel you. Hopefully it gets better. But I say this: if you're the highest scoring person in the league, usually, not always, but usually it ends up balancing out eventually. Yeah. So hopefully week 5 will be better for you and you get your run started. So should I mention the time that I was 2-5 in one of my leagues, came back and won the championship at 9-5 at the end of the season? Hold on to your hope. It can happen.
I made the playoffs 2 years ago at 7-6, the last seed, and I won the championship. So it's possible. So you just gotta keep hanging in there and just keep pressing on. You'll be all right.
All right, Super CNB Challengers. Appreciate having you on the show. Traded away Diggs and CD for Bijan, Aaron Jones, and DK. Ooh.
Good trade.
That's a good trade, I think.
Oh, yeah. God.
I am all for Bijan. We have not seen the best of Aaron Jones this year. He had the sombrero, and I think DK we haven't seen the best of yet.
I think long term is good though.
Yeah, a long term. I think that's a trade I'm very comfortable with, especially if you have other wide receivers. Because CD and Diggs are two really good high pick wide receivers. So hopefully you have stuff to cover the loss of those. But you're getting back in running backs and DK enough, I think, to make me feel.
I like
that one. So appreciate the question. I like that trade. By the way, everyone, if you haven't done so already, please hit that like, hit that subscribe. We appreciate it. Nita said she was 1 point over Monday night game, 41 score 40. But if you didn't pick the Raiders, then it doesn't matter because I'm trying to look. When I say pick the Raiders are going to win because I very rarely say pick the Raiders. So I'm just saying, if you hear me say it, go for it. Yeah, that London game, it's the Ravens and the Titans. The Ravens have been so disappointing, and injuries are one thing, but maybe coaching, because there's no way they should have lost that last game.
Well, what do you think? I don't think it's coaching. I think they don't have receivers.
Lamar Jackson practically put the ball in guys' hands, and they just dropped it. You probably saw I dropped Rashad Bateman in one of my leagues.
Literally, yeah. And we ain't even talking about OBJ. OBJ is terrible.
I think at the beginning we said don't put OBJ. OBJ
is terrible. Like, the thing is, they have no capable receivers right now. That's the problem. Nobody in football, so they got to run the ball, and they ain't got no running backs.
They're all hurt. Now that's where they're injured.
So that's what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, they don't have running backs. The receivers ain't catching. Yeah. The defense is not playing well. It's a team thing. It ain't one player that's wrong. You can't really blame Lamar. Yeah. Because Lamar,
he's doing. I mean, he's not playing like his contract yet, but that's partly because of they signed all these wide receivers to be bad and not catch the ball. And neither says I'm going back over. I don't go back and forth. The Raiders are terrible. I just tell you the games that are winnable. I don't consider that going back and forth. I'd say when they're good. For instance, the Raiders play the Patriots, the team that they're trying to be this week. The Raiders will beat the Patriots. Why? Because the Patriots are awful, and maybe that's why Josh McDaniels wants to be them. He wants to be terrible just like the Patriots. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. But yeah, that's honestly, thanks, appreciate it. Keep the faith, Johnny. You can make the playoffs. Coming back from there. Keep your faith. Rank these running backs for the rest of the season. Josh Jacobs, Alvin Kamara, Joe Mixon, Kenneth Walker III, and Kerryon Wentz. Kerryon Wentz has been quite the surprise guy this year. Who do you got at the top of your list?
Jacobs 1.
Okay.
Alvin Kamara 2. Williams 3. Because I think Kamara about to come on. I think he's really about to get going. Mm-hmm. And I think Josh is too, because the way he ran last week.
The first couple of weeks will have you really questioning Josh Jacobs and how he was the leading running back a year ago. But he's starting to come on strong. Yeah.
Starting to come on. Kenneth Walker III, and then Mixon. So I got Jacobs, Alvin Kamara, Williams, Kenneth Walker, and then Mixon.
I might switch Alvin Kamara and Josh Jacobs potentially in that group, but otherwise I'm with you. But I think Kamara and Jacobs are kind of even with each other. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I follow you completely on that group. What did I miss? Don't give up. I see.
Yeah, I'm telling you, don't.
Go to Olita Lewis' comment. Yeah, hey, it's just fantasy football. Have fun with it. Even I might make my goal to win one game. If I could just, I'm gonna find that one opponent that I think I can beat, and I'm gonna focus on that week. And look, if I don't win another game all season, I'm gonna find something to have fun with it. Welcome Roberto Perez to the show. What's up?
What's going on?
Got offered Devonta Smith for Breece Hall. Wide receivers would be Tyreek Hill, Amari Cooper, and Devonta Smith if they accepted. And so you have the Hurts stack. So that means they have Jalen Hurts on their team as well. Dameon Pierce would move into the RB2 spot. Dameon Pierce has been such a disappointment this year. I hope they can get that together. Because to me, it's not like C.J. Stroud is killing the run game, and that's why. Because sometimes the quarterback will do so much rushing that it takes away. That's not the problem.
The case.
That's not the case.
I'm not doing the trade,
I don't do that trade. So if you go with the run back. Okay, so finishing the question, Dameon Pierce would go to RB2, Brock Pollard's RB1.
I'm not doing that trade. I'm not trading.
I'm not getting rid of Breece Hall. So, yeah. They also have A-Chain on IR. I stay put.
That's 4 games though. That's 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
You can need
playoff time. You'll be ready to go.
You'll be ready to go.
With Tyreek Hill and Amari Cooper, I think that's enough to get you by.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess the question is, okay, right now you have Tyreek Hill and Amari Cooper. If you do this trade, you have Devontae Smith as your third guy. Who's your third wide receiver now? I guess would be my question. If you're telling me my third receiver currently is not to pick on anybody, Tutu Atwell, maybe I think about making that trade. But for now, Breece Hall is about to blow it up the rest of the year. We talked Breece Hall earlier this year. If I'm going to give away Breece Hall, I'm actually want to shoot higher than Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
I'm because Breece Hall.
Oh no, you good. No, I like Christian Watson. That's your 3.
That's your 3. I don't much like Christian Watson, honestly.
It's the quarterback you don't like.
But that's what I have to deal with for my wide receiver. But I like him more than I like giving up Breece Hall. So
I'm keeping Christian Watson as your wide receiver 3 with Amari and Tyreek, and then you still got Breece Hall and Pollard. Nah, I'm keeping that.
I say this: if Dameon Pierce were playing better, I would be all in on this because
he's not.
Dameon Pierce, as I thought he was going to be at the beginning of the year, as my 2 after Tony Pollard, I think would be money, especially when you got A-Chain coming back.
Yeah.
But since Dameon Pierce has not been Dameon Pierce, I think I'd take my chances. And we've talked before about the fact that the fantasy football has switched, and now it's wide receivers that run the show, and you're running backs. So I could see the logic a little bit, in as much as I need to get my wide receivers better and just go with maybe lesser on my running back group. But for that grouping, especially with A-Chain coming back, I'm gonna run with. I'm gonna have the. For one, you have Tyreek Hill. So that Tyreek Hill covers all other errors. So
I go game by himself.
There you go. There you go. If you didn't have Tyreek Hill, maybe, but you've got Tyreek, so I run with it, and I let my running back too. I'm gonna flex my running backs to the end of the year, because I would start those guys above Christian Watson. If I could, unless you have to start 3 wide receivers. But if it's only 2, I go with the 2 that you have up there, and then I flex those running backs, and I think you're going to win some games. So good luck with that. Appreciate the question. Appreciate you. I think we hit all the questions.
Yeah. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Except for needed to talk about her money league. Hey. I wish you the best with that one, but make sure you pick the Raiders this week because and I don't I have to figure out what the final score of that game is going to be. Let's see. I think we hit it all. All right. Well, thanks everybody that's been a part of the show. Hey, and make sure you're watching some sports, whether it's football, hockey, basketball is going. I didn't get a check on how that Aces Liberty game is going.
They beasting them. It's 90-63 with 5 minutes left in the 4th.
I love it. we about to go to Vegas for the parade. So
I'm ready. Let's go.
Yo, everybody, thanks for being part of the show. Enjoy all these sports that are going on. What you got going on for this weekend?
Nothing. I do, man. Watching some football, kids, and that's it. Nothing for real. Okay. Nothing crazy. I ain't doing nothing for real. So.
I'm gonna probably do a lot of the same. My highlight of last weekend was washing the car, so I'm gonna try to top that this week, and maybe do something a little more interesting. But I'm gonna watch. Hey, like I said, we at the beginning, if you weren't here, I'm new to the hockey fantasy football thing, so next week we might be talking R&J's fantasy hockey talk
You'll be talking about yourself. I don't know nothing about it.
And fans,
we don't either. That's why we asking folks to join us here.
Give us some advice on how I can win that league, because I've won football championships, I won fantasy baseball championships. I'm trying to add hockey to it, so we're gonna see where it goes. Everybody, enjoy your weeks. We'll be back here again this time next week.
Hey, like and subscribe, and find somebody else to
subscribe, and look, bring a friend with you next week, and we'll do this all over. Appreciate y'all. Have a great week, and good luck with your fantasy teams.
All right, peace.